That's your Race Shadow Legends. Today we have a champion guide on Alatreon Blademaster, an exclusive champion through the Raid and Monster Hunter collab from earlier in 2022. If you got your hands on this dude, congratulations. He's an extremely good all-around champion. But first, a few shout-outs to you guys. We get Reels Scoobs, or Reels Coobs, excuse me. There's almost nothing out him other than a couple of content creators covering him when he came out. Dragon King, User, Alan 321, and Ivy Lee. It can't be the Ivy Lee here. And the Dern 8560. Let's go ahead and take a look at Alatreon.
Alive! It's alive! It's alive!
So Alatreon Blademaster is from my favorite faction in the game, Knights Revenant. This guy is the real deal. Like, if you're watching this, if you have him, congratulations. You have a keeper who is impossible to get nowadays. His aesthetic is amazing. Like, all the Blademasters really look incredible. As I said, he's Spirit Affinity from the Knights Revenant, legendary obviously as well. I mean, look at this guy. He's freaking cool looking. Look at those eyes. Look at that. Look at that armor, I guess, right? Very, very cool. What is this on the side of him here? Is that a needle? What is that? Either way, he's awesome. Okay, you can check out the champion lore on him as well as all of the Blademasters. There's quite a robust lore background for this champion. Reviews on him in game are all 4.8 and higher. Again, rightfully so. He's gotten base stats are all amazing, right? 110 base speed, very fast. 1277, great on the defense. Almost 21k on the HP, fantastic as well. He brings speed in dungeons by 30%. He's going to be great for dungeons. Spider, normal. Dragon, both normal and hard. Ice Golem, normal and hard. Great support there as well. Great shield in his kit as well. Before we get too far ahead of ourselves, let's see what he does. Foresight Slash is A1 ability, attacks one enemy. We have a 55% chance of increasing the duration of 2 random buffs on each individual ally by 1 turn. The A1 on Alatreon, people don't even talk about it. It's a really cool ability here, right? From an A1 ability, that means even if he's going in on a counterattack or an ally attack, he's still going to be increasing the duration of 2 buffs on every ally for 1 turn. That's a 55% chance of happening. On the Reaping Slash is A2. It's an AoE attack on a 3-turn cooldown. Probably pretty obvious, but I'll just say out the gate, no damage from this champion. He's all out support and survival for your team. An AoE attack, increased defense, and a shield for 2 turns. The shield is based on 30% of this champion's max HP, so increased defense for survivability, shield for more survivability. It scales off of his HP, so if we can get him anywhere near the 100k realm, we're looking at 30k. 30k shield is really solid. If the target is a boss, these buffs are protected. Very good, especially against an Amos, the event dungeon. A lot of good utility out of this A2 ability, but it gets even better when we talk about the A3. Cleanser Booster, 3-turn cooldown. Nicely, the books go right to the cooldown here. A full cleanse on all allies and a block debuff on all allies. But if it's a boss, the buff is protected. That's why we just said that he's amazing when he's able to be used against Amos, which is sadly not this rotation, so I can't show you guys. But you know how Amos is removing block debuffs and replacing that with block buffs on all your allies, the negative version of each buff? That's not going to happen when Alatreon is on the team. Same thing with the increased defense. It's not going to be replaced with a decreased defense. That's going to be protected on your team. That's a game changer, right? The protected block debuffs, you're not able to get that without protection gear, the full set on other champions. So fills this champion's turn meter by 5% every time a debuff, and even with the full set, I should say, it's not guaranteed. It's 75% on protection, right? He has it guaranteed against bosses in terms of the protection. Fills his champion's turn meter by 5% every time a debuff is placed on them. Also heals the champion by 5% of their max HP whenever a debuff placed on them is expired or removed. It's not a game changer, but it's nice to have that turn meter fill and debuff if he ever does get CC'd, which quite frankly isn't that often because of his A3 ability. But it is helpful because the last thing that you want is Alatreon to be CC'd on your team, because he's all about just being an elite top tier cleanser for everybody else. So it's nice that he has that built in as well. Overall, a great survivability kit. Look at the area rankings on hellhades.com on this dude, guys. It is, I agree with everything they say about this guy. Maybe I'm a little bit higher. As I mentioned, well, I guess Ice Golem 3.5. See, on Ice Golem Hard, I give him a 5. I really do. So I could quibble a little bit, but overall, yes, he's incredibly versatile. Just look at these area rankings. Scarab King, he has the great shield. I mean, most of the Doom Tower bosses, he's going to be amazing for you. Dreadhorn, block debuffs, the protected, right? There's a lot that he brings to the table in a lot of different areas. He's not known as an arena champion, but you certainly could get utility out of him in the arena. Just understand that none of his buffs are going to be protected. As I mentioned, a weak multipliers on both of his attacks. We're really not looking at him for any sort of damage. So how can we build this guy, right? The cool thing is there's a lot of different ways that we can build Alatreon, right? We could put him in protection in PvP if we wanted to in the arena. I'd use my protection gear personally on somebody else, but you could still get some of that utility out of him in a protection set. However, the most popular in the arena, he's not a massive arena champion, but if you wanted to use him there, you could probably go Stone Skin. You could just simply go Defiant gear or something like that on this champion. Just even bake in some more survivability on him. I love, as you see, Bolster, but I would also recommend Guardian gear. I mean, this guy's really tanky, right? So you can build him with a Guardian and Immortal. He'll be soaking up the damage of your allies. So I love him in Guardian. I love him in Bolster. I went with Bolster in today's video because that shield is protected. It fits with his whole motif, right? And it's also 30% of his max HP, just like the shield on the A2 is. This gives you the luxury of coming in with the A3 ability, just kind of waiting to see how the battle plays out. They're already shielded, and then come back in with the A2 and reapply the shield to your allies if it gets removed, either by damage or buff removal. So I love him in a good bolster set as well. He has a lot of HP. It makes a lot of sense. But Guardian would be my second favorite. For those of you who aren't aware, Bolster also is healing him, which is great to have. Little mini regen going on. Bolster's so good, but it ought to be. It's hard to get, right? Going like triple Immortal gear, by the way, is totally fine on him, or a regen in Immortal. You could put him in Untouchable if you wanted to, immunity with resistance. You could build him with immunity. You could put him in Righteous gear to go high resist on this guy, just to ensure that no one's going to get a debuff on him. I already mentioned Defiant, mitigate damage taken from AoE attacks. Where's my Guardian? Guardian, where absorbs 10% of all damage dealt to allied champions and heals by 10% every turn. So now he can be healing your team and soaking up their damage as well. Very, very powerful set. Great considerations, all of those. What do we have on him today? We have defense on the banner. I would prefer HP, but let's go ahead and make that switch right now. What do you say, guys? HP on the banner. I mean, HP is going to be normally I don't care that much, HP or defense. It doesn't really matter. But man, I mean, give me that juicy banner all day, every day, right? Trip speed, but moreover, we get all that HP added that's going to beef up all of his shields. We have defense on the amulet. I don't want to totally negate defense, so I will save it on one of the accessories, but I don't want to go 2 out of 3. I really want to go in on the HP because we're already doubling down the bolster set anyway. I have speed on the boots. I have HP percentage on the chest piece. Let's see if we can get some HP percentage ascension there, or attack percentage. Womp womp. And then we should have HP percentage, yes, on the gauntlets as well. For masteries on him, I came down and I picked up Unshakable. Now, we haven't even mentioned Hydra Clan Boss on this champion, but you can certainly use him against Hydra Clan Boss as well. I love him in Hydra Clan Boss because he's going to be a very dependable cleanser for your team for all those true fears from, obviously, the Head of Torment. But moreover, because all the buffs, are going to be protected, he's going to be great for facing the Head of Mischief. There's not going to be any buffs to be stolen, at least any that he's bringing to the table that will be stolen by the Head of Mischief, right? So a lot of utility there as well. I went support and I picked up some of the healing, or the shield increasing, I should say. Masteries, not healing. And then I came down defense and I picked up Unshakable, Shadow Heal, Delay Death along the way. And hey, I went for Retribution and Deterrence so I can get value out of that A1 every time he's counterattacking, right? Just got to be careful of Deterrence because obviously you don't want him to be attacking the Head of Torment torment if you are using him in Hydra Clan Boss and getting True Feared. So keep that in mind. Let me go ahead and refer to the best website in the biz, hellhades.com, and just see what they'd recommend for an offensive build. I imagine just coming down offense, going right down to War Master would be the way to go, and I'd probably just keep the support side. But let's see what they'd recommend here. Let me pull up the website just so you can see it. Yeah, very similar to what we just suggested, right? Going for all the support masteries down on the support side, ending with lasting gifts, and then on the offensive side, just ending with War Master. This would be a good PVE build, a good Hydra Clan Boss build for consideration as well. All right, guys, let's go ahead and try this guy out. Let me move this over here. Lasting Gifts, I do want to mention again, that's a very important mastery, probably the most important mastery for this champion, to have the duration extended of those valuable debuffs that are protected, so even more value on them. All right, guys, we've talked about this guy enough. Let's go ahead and give him a shot here. And, man, as I said, I love him in Amos. If he's available right now, it's quite a bummer. He's not, but we already talked about why he's going to be so valuable there. But man, he is available on, I think, a couple rotations, at least one, and he's going to be like a sure-in. You're definitely going to want to have him on your team there. Let's go ahead and show him against the event dungeon, right? I think Alatreon, great champion. I think he's A+ tier in the game, right? He ought to be. It's hard to get, and he's exclusive. You can't get him out of a shard. He's next level good in the event dungeon right now against Odin, because Odin, he's going to remove all your buffs and place a stun on all of your allies, right? Well, with Alatreon on the team, that's not going to happen. You can't remove a protected buff. So the block debuffs will not be removed. Moreover, not only will it not be removed, but you won't get stunned either, right? So let's go ahead and, well, let's just put him on auto here. I forgot what Alatreon autos into here, but I'm going to come in with a protected block debuff right away, and you're going to see everything was removed. Oh, by Seer. I'm like, how did he remove the protected buff? How did he remove the protected buff? Okay, my bad. Karma burn. I actually do want to probably, I'm like, did you guys see my face right there? I could have easily edited and redone that, but I want to give you the genuine reaction. I saw Odin, and I'm like, wait, how was it removed? He can't remove it. Seer with Karma Burn will remove protected buffs. Keep that in mind. Sorry about that, guys. All right, so there he goes. Now we have the protected buff. You're going to see on the next go round here. And I have, by the way, Seer, Lydia, Arbiter, and Loki on the team. You could run a double cleanser if you wanted to as well. It's kind of unnecessary with him, but you can run like a Mithrala as an option. So we'll see the next time that he removes buffs, not you, Seer, although she might be going really soon. Seer's kind of ruining the video a little bit there, ruining the showcase at least. All right, let's get in here. And the next move, there it is. So at least you guys saw, right? Lydia did get stunned. She didn't have the block debuffs up, but that's what I was talking about, right? Seer will remove the protected buffs, but Odin's not going to, right? Thus, 4 out of 5 of our champions did not get stunned there, and that's just like a little tiny exhibit A out of A to Z of all the ways he can help your team, right? I'm not going to show you him in every dungeon. I think we could probably just end the video after this. I hope that's okay with you guys, but I could show you him in Ice Golem. Just laying down that shield, cleansing the debuffs from the minions off my team, cleansing the freeze off of my team, or preventing them with a block debuffs depending on the timing, right? Depending on the RNG of the battle. I could show you him in Dragon hard with all those poisons. No worries. We get a great cleanser on the team. He's fast as well. You can get back to that A3 really quickly, you know? He's probably my second favorite cleanser for Dragon hard outside of Battle Khazar, I would say, you know? Just really good for support anywhere. Again, you saw it again. This is, by the way, not the fastest team in the world. Clearly, I could get Loki out of there and put like a Newt or an Acrizia or somebody like that, another enemy max HP champion, and speed things up a little bit. But I just thought that this would be a perfect demonstration, not only of the survivability, but also that how valuable the protected block debuffs specifically is in a few areas of the game. I'll show you him. We talked about Doom Tower. I feel like maybe we can go one more battle. Why not? We're having fun. You're having fun. I'm having fun. But hey, farm your pinpoint accessories, by the way. Attack with speed, Bannerlord, pinpoint. I will keep that. Absolutely. I want to go into... It's kind of crappy timing, but I record these every day, so it's not like I can just time my videos. But I want to go into Doom Tower. We just started out a rotation here, but Nether Spider, right? It doesn't really matter. The team is... this team works, but he's so good. So is the rest of the squad here. But put him with a hero reduction champion, kind of fill in the rest of the spots. Little HP burn or cold heart or something like that. He's great against Nether Spider, but he's great against Scarab King. He's great against, his worst scores, now that I look again at hellhades.com here, his worst scores were against the Magma Dragon and Dark Fae. A 2 and a 2.5. Even Magma Dragon and Dark Fae, he's still bringing utility to your team, If you are running him as a support against those bosses where he gets his worst scores in all of Doom Tower, I still wouldn't say, why the heck are you running Alatreon? I'd be like, yeah, he's a beast, So guys, I'll come back at you at the end of this battle because things are taking a minute or two to kind of materialize here, but you guys get the point here, man. Basically, we're going to go in, we're going to land the burn. I used to always run block damage. I don't think it's like 100% necessary with a champion like Alatreon on the team. Of course, we can't resist the poisons. And even though it's stage 20, the poisons still hit as hard here on this team. But basically having a fast cleanser or doubling up on cleansers is going to be a great strategy. And he's good enough to keep the entire team alive the entire duration of this battle with ease, even on higher difficulties. I'll come back at when this one is almost over, even though it looks like it basically almost is. Well, heck, it looks like it basically is already over, huh? So here goes Alatreon with the A1. Increased buff duration. Really, you saw it proc a few times there. Really nice to have. Even if Cold Heart dies, we're gonna be fine, right? Look at all those burns going off from good old Geo. All right, Alatreon. I think he's already back to his cleanse. One away, it looks like. But again, we're getting those double procs quite often there. Oh, that might have been a deterrence, or that might have been a counterattack there. So we lose Cold Heart, but again, this one's pretty much already over Grover here. Every turn that goes by, we get more ticks. We have the Cold Heart and the Venom Mage for the hero reduction here, so we're totally fine. Goes in there with another cleanse just for good measure, even though we didn't even need it there. And a turn or two to go. And that will be that, guys. Hopefully you've enjoyed this guide on Alatreon Blademaster. I don't see them bringing this champion back to the game, frankly, but very, very good. Congratulations if you did get him. Keep the champion guide requests coming in the comments below. Much love, and as always, take care, guys.